This morning, we have new details into a weekend shooting investigation. Ahead, what we know about the victims and the suspects' whereabouts.
Plus, the Justice Department releasing thousands of new files on the Epstein investigation. What we know about the new documents.
And the Powerball jackpot continues to climb. Ahead, the new Christmas Eve jackpot and why some Wisconsinites are waking up with a special surprise.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome here to News 3 Now this morning at 6 o'clock a.m. I'm Arman Rahman, filling in for Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrian Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning on what you say is the Christmas Eve.
Exactly.
There we go. Yeah, I'm glad, I'm not sure if you're getting gifts for people, but is that going well for you? Are you done?
You know what? We'll find out later on today in a couple hours when I go out and get a few of them in a rush.
You're one of those people, last minute.
Yeah, just a little bit. And you know what? I don't have to worry because the weather's just fine. I don't have to worry about the snow making travel difficult or anything to the stores. So
that's true. Jacob, are you all finished with your holiday shopping?
I'm finished. I still need like 2 more things to get delivered, and I'm kind of crossing my fingers. They're supposed to come today. We'll see if they do. But as far as me, purchasing the items, that is done. So, but yeah, like you mentioned, Armand, not going to see too many travel headaches. There are some cold temperatures this morning with some minor fog out there that could freeze over. So there may be some very slight, spotty, slippery roads out there, but for the most part, again, not going to see massive travel impacts. Current temperatures are in the 20s, so below freezing, but most of the day, those temperatures will be above freezing. And what we're seeing right now on the radar, which is little to no precipitation, that's going to be the case all day, especially in the afternoon where we'll see some sunshine. Good to see those foggy conditions this morning, although they're not really developing out there. And with those colder temperatures, I actually do expect to see very little fog across the area this morning. Temperatures, we've seen the clouds clear up a little bit, which has allowed those temperatures to fall. So the fog that is expected to develop, maybe not going to be quite as heavy as once anticipated, but still going to see some of that patchy fog out there this morning. But by the afternoon, we'll see those temperatures peaking in the lower 40s with a decent amount of sunshine. But we're not going to see quite as much sunshine for Christmas Eve and Christmas, but it still will be mild. I'll talk more about that coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We begin with new information about a deadly shooting on Madison's north side. Police say this morning 2 people of interest are in custody.
Police say the arrests were made early yesterday at a home on Milwaukee Street. The shooting happened Saturday night on Portage Road just behind the airport. First responders took 2 men to the hospital with gunshot wounds. A 22-year-old man died while the other is being treated and is expected to recover. Reports indicate the victim who died was a graduate of East High and a student at Vanderbilt University. This investigation is ongoing.
And Governor Tony Evers is extending an energy emergency declaration in the state. That's due to continued pipeline disruptions. The governor first signed an executive order declaring an energy emergency on December 5th. He says, quote, "The health, welfare, and safety of our neighbors depends on access to fuel for home heating. As disruptions continue, this emergency declaration will help ensure folks and families across the state have the fuel they need to stay warm and safe." The extension will now run until January 16th instead of January 2nd.
Many Wisconsinites are also struggling with food insecurity this winter. People living in Dane County are turning to food pantries like Second Harvest to help keep food on the table. Rebecca, a mom of 3, used the local food pantry to help keep her cupboards full while her kids are out of school.
So they need to have more food, and those resources are good and are a blessing for her family and the other families. They can find, like here, fresh fruit and food they can use it for their families.
Community members are helping ease the burden for food pantries. Didion donated 9,500 bags of corn grits. You can help this holiday season by donating at extendinghandspantry.org, or you can also donate to secondharvest.org. 6:03, turning now to some new developments in the Epstein files case. The Justice Department making over 11,000 new documents public overnight.
And those documents range from subpoenas, DOJ communications, and other items pertaining to the disgraced financier's death in federal custody. And this comes just days after the department was supposed to release all the documents on the case last Friday. The department did release thousands of other documents at the time, but many of them had major redactions. Some of those were later taken down.
New this morning, the Pentagon releasing new video overnight of another boat strike in the eastern Pacific Ocean. U.S. Southern Command says the vessel was traveling along a known drug trafficking route at the same time of the strike, and at least one person on board the low-profile vessel was killed in the strike. This now brings the total number of people killed in suspected drug boat strikes to at least 105. And this all comes as President Donald Trump continues to ramp up pressure against Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro by seizing a second tanker. Venezuela calling the move an act of piracy, with Maduro saying on state TV President Trump should focus on the U.S. Trump responded to Maduro during a press conference.
We have a massive armada formed, the biggest we've ever had. If he plays tough, it'll be the last time he's ever able to play tough.
Last week, the president wouldn't rule out a possible war with Venezuela, but threatened that land attacks could start soon. The buildup against Venezuela has faced bipartisan criticism from members of Congress.
An update this morning on the deadly shooting at Brown University. The Department of Education now investigating whether the school violated the Clery Act. That act requires universities to maintain certain campus safety and security requirements in order to receive federal aid. The Ivy League school says it is currently working to add enhanced security measures at the campus, but this comes as its university police chief was put on administrative leave amid a review of the shooting. 2 people were killed and 9 others were injured in the incident. Hospital officials say 4 of those victims have now been discharged.
Tonight, the Kennedy Center Honors is set to celebrate the arts for the 48th time with some new features. Tonight's awards will be the first time a sitting president has hosted the awards show, and the honorees will now be getting a new medal that does not include a rainbow sash. The sash that has been an icon of the award since 1978 will now be replaced with a navy one. But many of the nation's biggest icons, including Sylvester Stallone, Michael Crawford, and Gloria Gaynor, all making their own appearances during the star-studded night.
It's been great that I represent something that means something to other people. That's kind of like the ultimate.
Looking back at all the people who have gone before me and the great talents and all of that, to be counted among them is incredible.
The event also giving a rousing tribute to the rock band Kiss to pay tribute to its former guitarist Ace Frehley. You can catch the Kennedy Center Honors right here on News 3 Now, tonight at 7.
And new this morning, the Powerball jackpot continues to climb after nobody won last night's drawing. The next drawing's on Christmas Eve, expected to have the 4th largest prize in lottery history, an eye-popping $1.7 billion. This is the 46th drawing without a winner, and while no one got the jackpot, 2 people in southern Wisconsin are waking up with some extra cash in the bank. A $150,000 ticket was sold at a Quick Trip on Humes Road in Janesville, and a $50,000 ticket was sold in Madison at a Fish Hatchery Road Quick Trip right here in town.
Congratulations. Well, Chocolate Shop is set to open its 9th location at the Hilldale Shopping Center. They'll take over the storefront that hosted Gigi's Cupcakes, which closed in December. Owner Andy Land says Hilldale is a great location thanks to its unique mix of local favorites and great atmosphere. The new store is set to open sometime next year. The National Parks is celebrating the country's 250th with their field trip contest.
Yeah, and get this, August Bushman from Plover, Wisconsin, one of 24 students across the nation who won a free trip to an iconic landmark. August chose the Rockies in Colorado, where he had just been with his dad. To win, August submitted a video essay explaining what America and Wisconsin means to him. He also made an ornament which is now being displayed at Washington, D.C.'s President's Park. It has the Great Lakes, a peace sign representing Wisconsin's civil rights history, and of course, can't have anything Wisconsin without some cheese on there.
I thought it would be good to put some positive stuff out there and enjoy representing my state.
He just tossed a video out there of what America meant and spoke from his heart. And good things have come from that.
August hopes to have more opportunities like this in the future. His ornament will be on display from now until New Year's Day.
All right, hope he has fun going back to Colorado, to the Rockies.
Must really love the Rockies.
Yes, but yeah, very cool that somebody here, around our state won this honor.
Definitely, making a mark there in D.C.
Yes. Well, let's check in with Jacob. Jacob's getting us ready to head out the door this morning. Jacob, what can people expect?
Well, this morning you could expect to see some foggy conditions at times with a little bit of cloud cover, but then by the afternoon the fog will clear up and the clouds will clear up for the most part, and we'll see a good amount of sunshine. A few clouds will still be possible, but this will really be the best chance of sunshine for the next couple of days, because as we get into Christmas Eve, we'll see a little bit more fog, but we'll certainly see more cloud cover, and those cloudy skies are expected for much of the day tomorrow for Christmas Eve, with some light rain possible, especially in the evening. Maybe some minor freezing rain for some areas, but there are not expected to be major travel impacts from this. And the chance of rain for Christmas will be even less than Christmas Eve, despite the fact that we'll still see plenty of cloud cover. And all the days will have temperatures above freezing for the afternoon.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Still to come here, the Packers returning to Lambeau today ahead of their big matchup with the Ravens. Why today's practice will be one of the most watched of the season.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Topping your health watch this morning, a new poll finding more Americans feel like their own mental health is dropping. According to West Health Gallup Healthcare, the amount of adults who describe their mental health as excellent fell below 30%. Researchers say the COVID-19 pandemic may have been a major reason, because prior to the pandemic, 42% of Americans reported having excellent mental health. Then in 2020, it fell 9 points to just 34%.
A British scientist now says dogs can experience a form of autism, even though veterinarians won't formally diagnose it. While there's no formal diagnosis for autism or ADHD in dogs, vets often call it canine dysfunctional behavior, which is sometimes treated with medication, but more often a trainer. Dr. Boyd says our faithful companions can have structural and chemical differences in their brains, similar to people diagnosed with autism.
I think when we see the parallels in the way that our dogs are, it just becomes a lot easier to accept ourselves.
It helps us actually improve their ability to bond with us also, because they're more likely to feel safe and confident.
If you suspect your dog is neurodiverse, Dr. Boyd recommends getting a checkup at the vet and working with a fully qualified behaviorist or trainer.
Meanwhile, the FDA approving a new daily pill of the weight loss drug Wegovy. The pill's maker, Novo Nordisk, says the new pill had about the same weight loss effects and side effects as its current weekly injection in clinical trials. The initial cost of the Wegovy pill is expected to be $149 for patients paying out of pocket and could be available as soon as next month.
Let's check in now with Jacob Montesano. He has the future track up. Jacob, what's going on out there?
Well, we are going to be seeing some cloudy skies for a good portion of the day, but once we get to the afternoon, we are going to see some of those clearer skies, but we also will see a chance of some cloudy skies and light rain once we get to Christmas Eve and Christmas. So to kind of recap these rain chances, the best chance of rain will actually be Christmas night, but most of it will occur well after sunset and actually clear out before sunrise on Friday. And then as we get towards the weekend and next week, we really are not expecting too much of rain in terms of rainfall. Now, looking at the temperatures during all this, for today, we'll see highs in the lower 40s with partly sunny skies by the afternoon, as I talked about. And then tomorrow will feature more cloud cover, highs in the upper 30s to lower 40s. And then as we get towards Christmas, looking first a little bit at what we normally see for Christmas, the average high is 28, but we've been as warm as 56 and as cold as -5, that -5 being the high temperature that day. Now, we see snow about 24% of all Christmases, but white Christmases occur about 66% of the time, which is when there is 1 inch of snow on the ground at 7 a.m. Christmas morning. Now, for this year, we are seeing a little bit of snow already on the ground, but only about 1 to 3 inches of snow. And areas to the north do have a little bit more, and the snow that's on the ground could melt a little bit. So there is a possibility that we officially don't see a white Christmas, but even if we officially do, it's probably not going to be that typical, actually it's not probably, it won't be that typical white Christmas you see in those holiday movies, simply because, like I said, we're not going to see any additional snowfall. Any precipitation that falls the next couple days will be in the form of rain, light rain, very light rain I should point out, but temperatures will be on the milder side, so some of that snow could melt away even further, but again, we're not really even seeing much snow on the ground at this point in time. Now, even when the temperatures cool down for next week, they're going to really cool down Sunday into Monday, and it also will feature some windy conditions, so we could see some wind chills below 0 at times. But even when that happens, we're still not really seeing much snow in the forecast. But in general, we are looking at some colder temperatures for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Let's just face it, this past weekend was sad. On Thursday, Badger volleyball lost a heartbreaker, and then on Friday, Wisconsin men's basketball lost in overtime to Villanova. And do I even need to bring up Saturday night's Packer loss against the Bears? I don't need to bring it up. So the only thing that can bring some sports holiday cheer back into our lives happened last night when Wisconsin men's hoops hosted Central Michigan without John Blackwell, who sat out with an injury. Nothing to be worried about there going forward. Hayden Jones, the freshman from New Zealand, got the start in his place and didn't skip a beat, throws down the jam, and Bucky would only run it up from there. Thanks to a pair of big men. First, it's Nolan Winter. The junior just gets better and better every single night. He finished with 18, which tied a game high with this guy, Austin Rapp. He'd go 7 for 10 from the field, pouring in 18 of his own, and the Badgers get a much-needed blowout win. 88-61 is the final score. That's your morning sports fix. Have a happy holiday season.
All right, turning now to the Packers. The team now set to begin practicing for Saturday's big game against the Ravens.
But as Seniors Packer writer Jason Wilde reports on why everyone will be watching today's big practice session.
Good morning, everybody from Lambeau Field. The Packers return to practice today, and they will have a full 7-day week, which they did not have last week leading in to Saturday night's loss at Chicago. They only had 6 days. This week, it's all 7, and they're going to need it leading into this Saturday night's matchup with the Baltimore Ravens, because both of their top quarterbacks are dealing with injuries. Starter Jordan Love has a concussion. He's working his way through the league's protocol. And backup Malik Willis, who played well in his place, has a shoulder injury, his right shoulder, his throwing shoulder. So we need to get to practice today to see which of them, whether it's both of them, neither of them, or just one of them, is actually able to practice. Matt LaFleur admits that complicates matters as they try to get ready for the Ravens.
I'd say he's pretty sore. You know, I mean, it's a legitimate deal that he's dealing with, and he's going to be another guy that just we'll see where he's at as we progress, and that further complicates the other problem.
We'll have a full injury report after practice this afternoon and full coverage of everything Packers on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for the Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Jason, thank you. And still ahead, we're continuing to get into the holiday spirit with a little bit of Christmas. Finish the lyrics.
Oh, there we go. Should be exciting. And we're learning more about the weekend arrest of a Madison school board member coming up in our next half hour, what police are revealing about their arrest and how the district is responding.
And before we head to break, let's take a look at your gas prices this morning. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, and take a quick look at this stunning barn shot by Sam Robinson. Look at that on News 3 this morning.
I feel like half the people watching the show are happy that it's not going to be like this, and the other half are upset that it's not going to be like this for Christmas, because obviously, you know, we don't have those big travel impacts, but white Christmases are very fun.
They are very fun, and they look very picturesque in this photo there. So hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit of a dusting of snow. If not, people will enjoy just the nice
mild temperatures.
Mild temperatures, exactly.
All right. Well, we're continuing our holiday spirit with a little bit of Finish the Lyrics, the Christmas edition. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Hopefully that I got these lyrics right. I did have the answers in here for you guys, like 2 options, but I took it out for one of them.
Do you know this one, Armand?
Okay, let's go. So I have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. There we go.
Let's see.
Let's go. All right.
But have a cup of cheer is right. Okay, one for one. Okay, up next.
Right.
Jingle Bell.
Bells.
Yeah, jingle bell, jingle bell.
No, it's Jingle Bell Rock.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. My bad.
Oof.
Okay.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun.
Finish the lyrics.
Now the jingle hop has begun.
Is it
Boom,
hop?
yes, it
Yeah,
is.
I was like, is it jingle hop or jingle rock?
I was doubting
2
myself.
up 2.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Oh, I don't know this.
Oh.
Let's have yourself a merry little Christmas song. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight.
Okay, that was right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I left the answer up here for this
Yeah,
one.
that one I would not have gotten without the help. But yeah, that sounded.
Okay, let's finish this one out. Okay.
Go.
Oh,
Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring.
Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling.
And they got it all
we got
right,
it.
guys.
All right.
More News 3 Now this morning after this. This morning, we're learning new details about the arrest of a Madison school board member. We'll share what school officials are saying.
Plus, the Kansas City Chiefs set to move stadiums and states. When that change is going to happen.
And if you're searching for the perfect holiday movie, we may have found it. We'll take you to the town where Cherry Pie Christmas was filmed. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on your Tuesday. I'm Kyrian Lee.
And I'm Armand Rahman, hoping to bring some snow with my tie this morning because...
Yeah, you and Jacob are rocking the holiday ties today. And if you weren't in the holiday spirit, I hope you were if you got the chance to hear Armand and Jacob sing this morning, finishing the lyrics. Yes.
I was not expecting to go caroling this morning, but you know what? I think we need all the Christmas spirit we can bring to this snowless Christmas, Jacob.
Yeah, not going to see any additional snowfall, and we're not really seeing a lot of snow on the ground. Now, officially, we still have about an inch of snow, but it doesn't really feel like it. Now, temperatures right now, they are below freezing, but a lot of the next couple of days, even the overnight hours, will feature temperatures above freezing. But right now, we are in the 20s, and we're not really seeing a lot of precipitation either. Now, some sprinkles may be possible as we see the cloud cover, but today is going to be a pretty dry one. Now, looking at the current visibility, there is the possibility of some fog, but with the temperatures being a little bit colder than expected, I actually don't expect to see much fog this morning. The fog was expected because temperatures were going to be above normal, or rather above freezing this morning, but they've dropped a little bit cooler than expected, so the foggy conditions are not expected to be as significant as initially anticipated. But what's still going to occur will be those partly sunny skies in the afternoon with high temperatures around 40. So I do expect to see some of that snow on the ground to melt away, as I talked about, and that may lead to the chances of a white Christmas being even less. But I'm sure many people will just take the conditions today because it's going to be pretty good. I mean, when you have the temperatures as cold as they were 2 weekends ago, these temperatures in the 40s are going to feel more like the 50s across southern Wisconsin. So definitely, I'd say enjoy the weather today and enjoy the no headache with the travel conditions, because they're not going to be too significant at all. And I'll talk more in detail specifically about that Christmas Eve and Christmas forecast coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. This morning, the Madison Police Department is investigating the arrest of Madison School Board Vice President Maya Pearson and founder of nonprofit Urban Triage, Brandy Grayson.
Police say the situation started late Friday near the Majestic Theater. They say Grayson drove over cones into a loading zone and refused to park somewhere else. When police arrived, they say they smelled intoxicants on Grayson's breath. They asked Grayson and Pearson to get out of the vehicle. However, both Grayson and Pearson refused, so officers say they physically removed them. Police say they arrested Grayson for disorderly conduct and resisting an officer. Pearson, who is also a member of Madison's Police Civilian Oversight Board, was arrested for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. The city of Madison is also investigating this through their Office of Independent Police Monitor. They say this presents unique circumstances due to the role of the complainant.
And the Madison School District sent us a statement that says in part, quote, "To be clear, this incident is unrelated to district operations and does not involve MMSD." The official goes on to say, individual matters like this are managed in accordance with MMSD policy and any applicable laws. Pearson did not release a statement. Charges against Pearson and Grayson have not yet been filed.
Happening today, Morgan Geyser, one of the women involved in the 2014 Slender Man stabbing, will be in court. Geyser was found not guilty due to mental disease defect after her and her friend stabbed another girl in the woods to please fictional character Slender Man, nearly killing her. She was later placed in a psychiatric hospital, and that was supposed to be for 40 years. Earlier this year, a judge approved her conditional to a group home in Madison. In November, she cut off her ankle monitoring bracelet and escaped that group home. Police found her nearly 24 hours later in Illinois. She says she will not fight the state's attempt to revoke the release privileges. She has not been charged for this escape, but she will be in court this morning at 8:30 for a hearing.
In other local news this morning, 6 horses are dead in what some are describing as a freak accident in the village of Bristol in Kenosha County. The crash happened at 4:15 yesterday morning. Investigators say the horses escaped their pasture and ran into the road. A man on his way to work in a pickup truck hit 6 of them. That driver is not injured, but 5 of those horses did die at the scene. The 6th did have to be euthanized because of his injuries.
And in some national news this morning, parts of California are bracing for more heavy rain as an atmospheric river continues to impact the Golden State. Flash flooding has already killed at least 1 person and caused several key roads to wash out. The town of Redding in Northern California has already received roughly a month's worth of rain over the weekend, and much of the central part of the state remains under flood watch until Friday.
We know that we're expecting a lot of rain and some wind, but we've weathered these storms in the past, so we're just doing everything we can to be ready.
Meanwhile, the floods have led to some terrifying rescues. Firefighters were seen using ladders to traverse floodwaters, safely bringing 9 people inside one home back to higher ground.
And this morning, the Navy is getting ready to welcome a new fleet of updated battleships. President Trump announcing yesterday the new ships will replace what he called an obsolete fleet and will use lasers, AI, and hypersonic weapons. It's still not clear how much the Trump-class battleships will cost, but the president says it will help maintain the U.S.'s military supremacy.
Each one of these will be the largest battleship in the history of our country, the largest battleship in the history of the world ever built. And again, it's 100 times more powerful than the previous Iowa class.
The Navy is set to initially build 2 ships before building 8 more of them later on.
The Department of Homeland Security is now offering undocumented immigrants who self-deport before the new year $3,000. That's triple the previous $1,000 stipend that's been available since May. Officials say tens of thousands have already taken the exit bonus, noting it costs an average of $17,000 to arrest, detain, and remove an undocumented immigrant. Those who leave voluntarily may still be able to return through a legal process.
And new this morning, the Kansas City Chiefs will be moving to a new stadium and across state lines.
The team says it will relocate its franchise headquarters across the state line into Kansas. A lot of us Missourians not happy today. That's about 30 minutes from the current Arrowhead Stadium. This move comes roughly 2 years after Jackson County, Missouri officials rejected a plan to extend a sales tax for the stadium. The new planned home will be a dome projected to open for the 2031 season. The Winter Farmers Market is set to return to the Garver Feed Mill next month.
Starting January 3rd, you'll find over 50 vendors selling, of course, cheeses, vegetables, local meats, and baked goods. The market will run every Saturday from 8 to noon until April 4th. SNAP and EBT services are accepted, but you're going to have to visit the information booth to use your Quest card and food share with local partners.
And today, Monona is hosting its Santa Send-Off event. Originally postponed due to snow squalls and freezing rain, the event is back this afternoon at 4 o'clock. You can help send Santa off as he begins and ends his loop through the city near Monona Public Library and City Hall.
I wonder if he rides a sleigh or if he has a vehicle for the roads.
Well, he might have a, it's the sleigh, of course.
Yeah, of
for
course.
all the kiddies.
Yeah. Well, if you're looking for a new holiday movie to watch this week, this one might be the most delicious. It's called A Cherry Pie Christmas.
And it was filmed right here in Wisconsin. The small-town holiday rom-com features a Chicago pastry chef who returns to her hometown in Door County. It all centers around a pie contest with one of the judges being Packers legend, Amon Green.
I get to taste it and give my opinion, and also give my opinion about what the Bears still are, even though we know what happened yesterday.
Amon Green. There we go.
Yep,
I just want to say Armand. I keep thinking this is about you, but it's not.
Nope.
You can watch a Cherry Pie Christmas on demand through a variety of services like Amazon, Tubi, Roku, and Pluto TV.
Not going to catch me dead in a Packers jersey.
Oh!
Ooh. Chicago boy. Just like Jacob Madison.
Yes, through and through. And you guys, I'll say they're talking tough this morning, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I got to continue on with my quote from earlier. Ahmad Green saying, "We know what the Bears are." Yeah, we all know they're first in the division.
Ooh,
sorry, gotta
period.
say it. Now, it does look like the Bears and Packers will play each other in the playoffs, which, if you think the atmosphere was crazy this past Saturday, going to be even crazier if that happens. Now, let's transition to the forecast. We are going to see cloudy skies and some fog this morning, but by the afternoon, partly sunny skies are expected. But then for Christmas Eve and Christmas, we are expecting a good amount of cloud cover. But the good news with these 2 days is that we are going to see some mild temperatures, and the chance of precipitation will be very light. Now, it will be mostly in the form of rain. Some light freezing rain could be possible, but we're not expecting to see major travel impacts, and a lot of the area may not see any precipitation at all, but definitely some damp conditions may be possible. The good news is that temperatures will be above freezing at this point in time, so I don't expect to see a lot of the rain freezing over on the surfaces. And then as we get towards Christmas, we are going to be seeing more cloudy skies with another small chance of light rain, but even a smaller chance compared to Christmas Eve. So not seeing much rain, but we are going to see cloudy skies for the holidays, and I'll continue talking more about that forecast coming up a bit later.
Jacob, thank you. Coming up in consumer news, are you getting ready to fly for the holidays? We've got some important reminders before you hit the TSA line.
And a major car company settles a huge lawsuit with Wisconsin. What it means for consumers.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back at 6:43 in consumer news. Christmas is just 2 days away, and last-minute shoppers have been out in full force at Westtown Mall searching for the perfect gift. Many shoppers say they wish they'd started earlier. A recent poll shows 16% of people are buying more gifts this year than in years past. Some shoppers are braving the crowds in person with reason.
I've got a lot of family and friends I need to shop for. The online shopping wasn't doing it this year, so wanted to go in person and get all the things. I think it's easier because you get the sizes. Every size is a little different. Never know online, so I'd say in person, yeah.
The same poll found 42% of shoppers are buying fewer gifts, while another 42% say they're buying about the same amount as in years past.
And those not rushing to the stores to buy those last-minute gifts may be packing into airports for what AAA says is set to be a record-breaking year of holiday travel. That means a lot of traffic and some delays, but there are ways to beat that rush. You can travel on the holiday itself to avoid most of the crowds, and if you're going by plane, experts recommend getting enrolled in TSA PreCheck. It costs around $85, and it's good for about 5 years.
Even if the line looks long in pre-check, it moves so much faster because you don't have to take things out of your bag. You go through a metal detector instead of that scanner.
So what's some no-nos at the airport? Don't buy basic economy seats. You could get hit with hidden fees later. And don't park at the airport. Use the app Spot Hero instead to find some cheaper options.
The TSA says it's fully staffed and ready to screen more than 44 million travelers over the holiday period, which runs through January 4th, potentially setting a new record. Passengers arriving at airports will notice some changes from last year. Travelers now need a real ID to get on board. A new pre-check line is open for members of the military and uniformed services, and some airports have dedicated lanes for families. Shoes no longer needed to come off at security checkpoints.
And thankfully, it seems like it'll be clear travel conditions for the holiday season, Jacob.
Yes.
Yeah, for Wisconsin and a lot of surrounding areas, not going to see too many travel headaches. Now, there is some active weather further west in California that may cause some airport delays and maybe cancellations from there. But here in Wisconsin, although we are going to see some foggy conditions and some light rain, there's not going to be a lot of travel impacts. So patchy fog the next couple mornings, mild temperatures with some very light rain possible at times, mainly for the afternoon and evening of Christmas Eve. Christmas Christmas, very small chance of light rain and almost no chance of rain today with partly sunny skies and highs at near 40 by the afternoon. We will see some cloudy skies early and again could see some of that patchy fog early. Tomorrow will feature a lot more cloud cover, highs in the upper 30s, so temperature wise pretty similar. Again, a better chance of rain tomorrow, but still the rain will be very, very light. And as we look towards Christmas, let's talk a little bit about the white Christmas chances. We see a white Christmas about 66% of Christmases here in Madison. And for it to be a white Christmas, there has to be at least 1 inch of snow on the ground at 7 a.m. Christmas morning. Now, looking at our current snow depth, we're about 1 inch to 3 inches across Dane County, a little bit more off to the north. And we could see some of that snow melt as those temperatures get above freezing, especially today with the sunny skies expected. And we're not going to see any additional snow on the ground. So it's very possible that the snow melts away to the point that we won't officially have a white Christmas. But even if we do, it's not going to be those typical white Christmases that you see, in those Christmas movies. It's going to be kind of a muggy Christmas in the sense that it's not really going to be very pretty, the snowfall, and the temperatures are going to be above normal. Upper 30s are expected with plenty of cloud cover. Small chance of rain, but overall the rain chance will not be too significant. Again, if there is precipitation, it'll be very light and very quick. And then as we take a look at the extended 10-day forecast, we're going to continue to see the mild temperatures to end the week before we cool down to start next week. That will also bring in some windy conditions Sunday into Monday. So Monday morning could feature some wind chills below 0, but it's not going to be as cold as it was some of those earlier days in the month. And even after the cool down, we're still not really going to see a lot of snowfall in the forecast.
Jacob, thank you. In some more local news, Wisconsin will receive more than $630,000 as part of a multi-state settlement with Mercedes-Benz. The settlement addresses allegations that the German automakers sold vehicles equipped with devices that made the cars appear to comply with emissions tests, but violated standards on the road. Mercedes allegedly used these devices because it couldn't meet design and performance goals while still complying with emission standards. Vehicles with the devices were marketed as environmentally friendly. Mercedes will notify owners and lessees about next steps. They will receive an extended warranty and $2,000 per vehicle for repairs.
A once thriving bookstore making a major comeback. Barnes & Noble plans to open 60 new stores across the U.S. in 2026. The announcement comes after nearly 2 decades of the company closing stores. The bookseller told USA Today that the expansion follows a period of strong sales in existing stores. The company says the new stores will have a variety of books, toys, games, and more.
Kentucky bourbon maker Jim Beam has announced it plans to pause production at its main distillery in Clermont starting January 1st. Part of the issue concerns supply. Kentucky has more than 16 million aging barrels of bourbon in its warehouses. The state charges taxes on those barrels. A state trade group says distillers paid $75 million for those aging barrels this year. That's a 27% jump from a year ago. Besides the aging barrel issue, President Donald Trump's tariffs and the cost of living also are having an impact.
And beef prices just keep going up, and it doesn't look like it's going to get better anytime soon, despite the Trump administration's efforts to rein in the cost. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says ground beef costs an average of $6.78 a pound in November. That's a 2.1% increase from September and a 15% jump from a year earlier. The record beef prices come as the U.S. has a historically small cattle herd.
Gold prices are holding near record highs today after surging above $4,400 an ounce. Analysts say investors are watching geopolitical tensions and signals of easing monetary policy, which could keep prices elevated. Silver is also in focus today, trading around $69 an ounce as precious metals continue to attract safe haven demand. Well, coming up in the morning sprint, the Powerball results are in. We'll tell you how high the jackpot has climbed.
But first, we want to wish a happy 3rd birthday to Eli and Nicole. Oh. Look at that, the big 3. Happy birthday to you both. Well, it is 6:53, time now for the morning sprint.
This morning, 2 suspects are in custody after a deadly shooting on Madison's north side that left 1 person dead and another injured. Police say they made the arrest at a house on Milwaukee Street early yesterday. The shooting happened Saturday night on Portage Road just behind the airport. The investigation continues.
Madison police also investigating a domestic disturbance that led to the arrests of MMSD board vice president Maya Pearson and Urban Triage founder Brandy Grayson. Police were called near the Majestic Theater Friday after they say Grayson drove over cones into a loading dock. Both refused to leave the car and were arrested but have not yet been charged.
New this morning, the Justice Department has released its largest set of files yet related to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The release includes more than 11,000 documents, making it the most extensive disclosure to date. The files appear to include FBI records, internal DOJ communications, court subpoenas, and other legal documents, including material related to Epstein's death while in federal custody.
No one won last night's Powerball jackpot, so the Christmas Eve grand prize now up to $1.7 billion. That will be worth the fourth largest jackpot lottery in history. And while there is no jackpot winner, 2 tickets sold in Wisconsin hit big, a $150,000 jackpot in Janesville and a $50,000 ticket sold at a Quick Trip on Fish Hatch Road in Madison.
This morning at 8:30, Morgan Geyser, who was involved in the 2014 Slender Man stabbing, will appear in court. Previously found not guilty due to mental disease, Geyser was placed in a psychiatric hospital set to be for 40 years. Earlier this year, she was conditionally released to a group home, but escaped last month, cutting off her ankle monitor. Geyser will not contest the state's move to revoke her release privileges.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is defending the Trump administration's recent move to seize oil tankers in the Caribbean off the coast of Venezuela. Her defense comes after the U.S. military seized a second tanker over the weekend and pursued a third just yesterday. The administration says the actions are part of a crackdown on drug trafficking. The Venezuelan president, however, says the seizures are an act of piracy.
Heavy rain and floods continue to drench Northern California. One motorist died in a flash flood in Redding after their car filled with water. The National Weather Service says up to 8 inches of rain fell in the region between Saturday and Monday, and the rain is expected to continue throughout the week.
And the Kansas City Chiefs moving stadiums and states. After spending 62 years in Kansas City, Missouri, the Chiefs announced Monday they're moving to a new stadium in the state of Kansas. The Chiefs CEO said the new Dome Stadium, which will be complete by 2031, will enhance Kansas City's chances of hosting a future Super Bowl.
And here's a final look at your 10-day forecast. Temperatures over the next couple of days will be above normal, highs in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Small chances of light rain, not expecting any snow. Could see some light freezing rain, but overall, travel is not expected to be too impacted by the weather. We will see some colder temperatures finally by the time we get to next week.
All right, Jacob, thanks for all the updates. Coming up next is CBS Mornings. Our next newscast is at noon. Have a great day.